Alright, this is my third attempt of recording this. Welcome to my Sacrifice review, but I want to make this very clear. At any time, if my ankle really hurts bad, I'm going to cut this short. Right now, it's reasonable, but I want to make this... I hate this. I have an Achilles tendon tear. I've had it for a while. Sometimes I sprain my ankle by twisting it weird when I walk. I already limp. And then if I walk funny, step on something wrong, I twist it and I get a sprain, and it takes a long time for my ankle to get better. It doesn't seem to make the tear worse, but it takes time to recover. And that's why you haven't seen a lot of stuff, because my ankle's been killing me. I'm sorry that I sound like I'm angry, because I kind of am. I got stuff to do, and I can't go walking around much because of my ankle. My right ankle's killing me. Well, not killing me, but it's not feeling good. So I'm sorry if I got to cut this short. I hope you understand. I want to make this clear. I did not see the kickoff show. I did not. I know Jody Threat was on it with Tessa Blanchard, but I did not. And I think there was one other match. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I was actually trying to take care of my ankle. I had to soak it. So I missed it. So I don't know what happened there. I do know when they showed the replay that Jody lost due to interference. So the question is going to be, where are they going with Tessa? Where are they going with Jody? Now, let's start with the X Division Championship. Eric Young versus a little bit of our boy. Let me give it to you. The Young in Charge. Leon Slater's my boy. I do like him very much. It's not that he's one of the best high flyers there is. No. You got a lot more of the people that I've seen in wrestling that's better than him, or at least as equal as him. But I like his attitude and his charisma. It's not his accent. It's his attitude, his charisma. He's charismatic. So I do like him in that respect. And they had a good match here. And I'm not surprised that Leon won. He's supposed to win. Particularly that he still has to do his match with Cedric Alexander. So that's good. Next match. It is AJ Francis with Kaz versus Hometown Man and Elijah. Let's make this clear. In New Orleans, the crowd was good. I liked the crowd. But did I care about this match? No, it did not. But it does two things though. One, it makes sure that Elijah and Kaz are going to have their feud. Two, it does spotlight a little bit of AJ Francis. You may not like AJ, but for the last year, he's actually done pretty well. He has. As a big guy, he's not one of the best I've ever seen. He isn't. But he's been consistently good. He's not here, and he's not here. He's been consistently good. And you don't always get that from a lot of big guys. They don't always perform good. And you're going to say, well, who gives a damn? He just does good work. But that's what you want. I'm not saying he's average. I'm saying he's good. I don't agree with him using Tennessee whiskey all the time. Like I said, it would have been better if he retired it, or at least put it on hiatus for about a year. And then bring it back. But he's been consistently still using Tennessee whiskey. I don't think he's bad at it, but I would like to see that with his attitude, he wants to prove that he is a good damn wrestler. And he's a good wrestler. But he does have an attitude where I don't give two damn flips. You think I'm nothing, I'm going to prove it to you. But when you try to prove it and you have an attitude, it doesn't always work. Now, I don't hate AJ. I think he's a good wrestler, and generally he's probably not a bad guy. Yeah, he can be a dick, but many people can. But I'm telling you right now, I would have liked to see Tennessee whiskey, on hiatus for about 1 year, and then bring it back after he's shown other stuff he can do. And he has. But it always falls back on Tennessee whiskey, and people are going to screw with him. What happened in WWE, we almost blew out both his knees trying to do Tennessee whiskey, and they belittled him for it. So Kaz is one who got the pin on the Hometown Man. So right now you're going to have a story with Elijah. Next the Knockouts triple threat. Ling Yang Lee versus the Doomsday versus the Mama Daddy's little girl, Ariana Grace. I want to say this. Comparing Ariana to Danny Luna or Ling Yang Lee, which one of these women is the most polished? It's Danny. I'm not taking anything but Ling Yang Lee. She's been working for 8 years, grinding. She's done a decent job, and she's a good wrestler. Ariana Grace, the same thing. But Danny's here, Ariana's here, and Ling Yang Lee's about here. And that's only due to the fact that she's only been recently given, in the last year and a half, the ability to go beyond what WWE was going to give her. Because remember, she was born in WWE. They did nothing with her. It wasn't just because she wasn't developed enough as a person, like to be able to speak English, to wrestle, to understand psychology. She just never was given much of an opportunity. So TNA now given an opportunity in the last couple of months, particularly when she became champion, and then when she lost her title, and now she's going through this where she has to try and get back the title. So now this is a point where she has a lot of time to learn to develop. When it comes to Ariana Grace, they've been pushing her as liaison of the NXT with TNA. So she's had time to learn how to have a character, how to start acting a certain way. And she's not a bad wrestler. I'm not saying she's the best, but she's okay. And then there's Danny, who they never did much with, but she has charisma. She can wrestle. And since she became Doomsday, she has done very well. But unfortunately, due to the fact of what happened with the visa problems, along with Leon Slater, she couldn't get back in the country. So all that momentum got wiped. So now she's got to rebuild herself. And at this point, they pushing Ariana Grace. So now she's put to the wayside. Because I'm being honest here, Danny should have won. She should have won it. Now, she could win it at Rebellion, which I think that's what they're going for. That Danny finally came back, let her build herself back up a bit, and then get another shot at the title at Rebellion. Because I think that would be the best place to do it, not here at Sacrifice. Where, for me personally, I think she should have won the Sacrifice. But if they really want to give it to her, and understand, as a fan, I see her winning here. But as someone who's reviewing it, it is better at Rebellion to build her up into it and see that she's going to keep screwing with Ariana Grace until she gets what she wants. And I do hope they let her go over to NXT, screw with Ariana Grace a couple of times, so when Rebellion rolls around in 2 weeks, she's ready. But that's just me, you guys, down below. Next, you got the match I did not expect to be as good as it was. And you got Order 4 with Tasha Steelz and Ali versus a Jada Stone and a Trey Miguel. I did not expect the match to be as good as it was. Now, I want to make this clear. Do I like Jada Stone? I don't know yet. Can she wrestle? To a certain extent, yes, but she's still a bit sloppy by my point of view. I've seen a lot of women wrestlers who act like high flyers. Not all of them have personality. And I'm not talking about the ones that are on their chest. I'm talking about real personality, real character development. She's only been on the main roster for a few months. There's just not enough there for me personally to really be, okay, I'm a Jada Stone fan. No, just not there. She needs more, and I just don't see it yet. Can she wrestle? Yes, but she is a bit sloppy. Because during most of that match, she was sloppy when she was working with Tasha Steelz. Now, that sloppiness when she was working with Ali was counteracted pretty easily because he is a good wrestler with a good personality. And I will say to Jada, she took a lot of punishment, particularly taking that straight DDT to the floor when she got put under the bottom ring rope by Tasha Steelz. She took that and she worked with him, so it was good to see. But now it's going to be up to creative to actually write for her to make her mean something, because wrestling's not enough. Now, did everyone love the spark? in New Orleans? Yes, they did. But as someone who's being objective, there's nothing there yet. She's got talent in the ring to a certain extent, but there's no personality, there's no character development, and that's the problem. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest here as someone who's giving you a fair review. In the end, she got her clock cleaned. And this is the thing I loved. This is about the International Championship, which I knew it was, like everybody else did, but it counted on how they're going to book it. And making her the linchpin of it, that Ali focused on her, destroyed her already, and next to Trey getting zip-tied, I don't think I'm putting any images in. Maybe. But Trey getting zip-tied by the helping hands, well, the great hands. And Tasha holding that zip tie as much as she could because, of course, they didn't want to make it too tight. But first, and then her getting a 450 after that by Ali, fine, great. Excuse me. Woo! Ankles just like... But I did like it. I did like it. So that shows development for her. But how much after that are they going to do with her in the Knockouts division? That's the big question. Next, Moose versus Eddie Edwards. No match. A DQ. Moose won. You got Agent Zero coming in because supposedly at the kickoff show, which I didn't watch, there was an agreement between the system and Order 4. So something's going on. I mean, I understand that if Eddie won the championship, Ali will be one of the first people to get that shot. So that was the agreement from what we got from Tom and Matthew. So the question is, how are they going to book it? The match that I was actually disappointed in. It wasn't bad, but I was disappointed. Let me give it like this. Elena Black and Mara Jade. No, Mara Sage, not Jade. You see, I like a redhead. Mara Jade from the original Star Wars books. But let me give it to you like this. Mara Sage didn't do a bad job in the match. But Elena Black did do a messed up job. I was actually quite surprised. I know she can wrestle. She can. Just like Mara can wrestle. They both are not bad wrestlers. They actually can wrestle. But when you watch this no DQ match, I'm like, okay. When it came to Elena, she was telegraphing a lot of the moves that was going on. Mara did a better job. But Elena did a lot of telegraphing. And I'm like, why? She knows how to do the moves. And she knows when the timing is generally good. Not saying she's perfect, but she knows when to make it look good. When to take a hit. When to give a hit. But it was like she was really out of... she was just telegraphing a lot of what she was doing. Or a lot of what she was taking. And yes, Mara won. But I'm like, really? I didn't like it. I don't know what was off. But I will say this. Seeing that she did take those thumbtacks out. And let's be honest. Her fun bags are fake. We know that. We know they're fake. And there is a danger with thumbtacks. Depending how a person lands on them, they could dig in deep enough under the breast tissue to puncture her fun bags that make her fun bags look good. So that can be dangerous. Now, she didn't lay on them, so they were careful. There was always in her back, and there was some in her ass. What little ass she has. But I will give her that. She wasn't afraid to get on thumbtacks, and you never know with thumbtacks. Anything can happen. Thumbtacks can get you anywhere in the body, even though you try your best to make it focus on your back, or usually on the back, or your butt. At least as close as possible to the gluteus maximus, and not the, well, let's put it like this. With a guy, you don't want to have the balls get popped. And with the ladies, you don't want the taco to get damaged either. So I give it to her. But it was still telegraphed. Next, This one, I kind of missed part of it because by the time it was near its end, I had to go to the bathroom. And when I came back, it was over. So I had to watch a replay. That's the reason why this is a little later than I would have already uploaded. I'd done the video and then uploaded it. And that was Jeff and Vincent versus a little Brian and Cedric Alexander. I knew sooner or later the Righteous were going to turn against the Hardys. It was obvious. It was 100% obvious. And after what happened a week before, where, was it a week before? Where Matt was taken out and no one knew who did it. I knew sooner or later the Righteous were going to do it. I didn't know if it was them per se, but after the match, well, technically, the match wasn't over. And you saw in the Titantron that Matt was bloodied by Dutch. And as Jeff was looking at Vincent, he gets nailed by not only Brian, but then a gut check from Cedric. And they lost the match. So now, from what they said, you're going to see the system up against the Hardys. I think it's this Thursday. So the question's going to be now, what are they going to do different than they did when the Righteous first tried? That's the big question. What are they going to do different? Are they going to do it at the Hardy compound? Are they going to do something entirely different? Because if the Hardy's going to do something different, I would like that. But if they go to the Hardy compound, it's been used a lot. And don't get me wrong, they do try to do different stuff at the compound, but I'm hoping they do something entirely different. All right. Let me give it to you like this. What happened when it came to the Elegance brand? When it came to the Three Legends? Did I like it? Yeah, I did. Seeing that M was speaking that that Ash is still not there because everyone has been messing with her because she's bedridden, because she's keep being called a mark. She is a damn mark. So am I. But then you see that they were complaining about ODB. ODB came out, called out an old friend of Terrence Terrell. Now, I haven't seen her in a long time. Woo, I haven't seen Terrence Terrell. And you guys tell me below, does she look younger than she did when she was last there? Because it was almost a decade since she was last there. She looked great, but she does look a bit younger than she did when she was last there. Maybe because she's been taking care of herself. Maybe because little facelift, whatever. But she looked good. But they're saying, you know what? We're sick and tired of you talking about our mess. And being in my town, New Orleans, she says something. I don't know if it's true or not. Probably it is. She wanted to go down there along with ODB and kick some butt. But Mr. Elegance made it very clear that he's also part of the Elegance brand. And he is the extra one you're going to have to deal with. And Miss Hardcore Country comes out. Miss Mickie James. I'm alright with that. I didn't know what they're going to do with Mr. Elegance, but I knew they're going to do something. And what did we get? Not only did they grab his legs and pull him so he'll bang his head up against the mat as they beat up on M and beat up on Heather. They didn't touch Mr. Iceman, who is... Pickle Dick. I gotta admit that was a bit funny. Seeing him, he's called Pickle Dick. You get Mr. Elegance getting smacked around a couple of times, kicked, and then nut-shotted with a little bit of the mic. Boom! And at first I thought, what the hell was that? And then I realized, oh, Mickie Jane used her mic to whack him in the gonads. And you don't usually see that. And I'm being honest here. Usually always use it or the kick between the legs. You rarely see them actually use a mic to the balls. I think that was nice to see. A little change up. That wasn't bad. And I was fine with that. So, they ended that. Now let's get to the final thing here. I don't know what I'm going to call this video because of what had happened to Steve. I think not the outcome we wanted. Because I think that's the wisest thing to say. Steve and Mike are in the ring. They're doing the match for the heavyweight championship. I think if we're not putting images in, this will be the only one I'm going to put in. As Steve charged at Mike on one of the ring ropes and gave him a good strong forearm, he runs because Mike went to one of the sides. Well, they were trying to hammer each other. They were trying to pretty much charge each other. And Mike went to the ring rope, got nailed in the face with a good elbow. Steve ran to the other ring rope, and as he's coming back, Mike kicks him in the face, and I believe this is where I'm going to put the image. When that happened, I believe I have the next image. I had to actually go and find a replay of it to see if I can grab that image because I didn't think of grabbing it. I was like, okay, what's going on? Are you going to attack him, Steve? Is this a trick? Because that's something normally what people would do. They would fake it. This wasn't a fake. It looks like Steve got kicked just right in the face. That he literally, like he got punched in the face like a boxer. He literally was grabbing the ring rope, locked up. His muscles are locked. He was stunned, guys. There was not a joke. This wasn't fake. He literally was locked up like he took a straight punch to the face and everything just stopped. He got almost like he was concussed and his muscles just froze and locked. It took a few seconds for him to unlock and the ref did the right thing. She kept Mike, don't do it. Gave this. He's done. He tried to get up. He could not. He tried again to get up. He stumbled. The trainers came in. Silva came over. And that's when someone, I think it was probably Tommy, he told Eddie, we got a problem. Quick, get Eddie over here. Get Eddie over here. And he probably let me give you like this. Calling Eddie out to go and give something because they didn't want to leave with nothing was the wisest thing to do. The fight between him and Eddie went on. There was no match. He didn't do the feast and fire. There was no briefcase. They weren't replacing Steve. They were just giving something because Steve was done. Hopefully he's not too badly messed up. I think he's probably concussed. Hopefully he has a light concussion or no concussion at all. He just got stunned really good. Because as a boxer, you get hit just right and you get knocked out, you can lock up just like this. And you can be fine afterward, but you're stun locked, as they would call it. So after Steve was taken away, Eddie and him were fighting, and then Eddie was put through a table. And that was it. Legitimately, what we got here was not a bad show. Legitimately. This Sacrifice, I liked it enough that I could watch this one again. And in fact, I can recommend it. But I'm going to say this. The beginning of the match was alright until what happened with Steve. That is the only major thing, other than, of course, a no DQ when it came to Black and Sade. That wasn't really a great match. It just wasn't. When it came to Elena Black, she just seemed like she was telegraphing a lot. But all the other matches on the card were pretty good. You can easily say you could like it. But I'm not going to lie about it. The no DQ match wasn't great. It wasn't trash, but it wasn't great. But the ending match, when you see Steve locked up and could be concussed, don't know yet. That wasn't good. But they did try to compensate, and I'm sure it was Tommy Dreamer who told Eddie, rush out there and attack a Mike Santana, who was frustrated. He was like, fuck. He didn't expect it. It wasn't like he was using a full extension like this of his leg, but he didn't think it would actually mess Steve that bad. But things like this, let's make this clear. I'm trying not to talk so long, but I got to. Things like this happen. You don't think a kick that is at half power could stun someone enough to hurt them. But it happens. Things like this happen. And it was a no contest, so If Steve's alright, he can always get a second shot at the title. You always can. But this is just me, and I hope you enjoyed this Sacrifice review. Please give me a comment below. I'm going to see if I can do... I'm going to see if I can do a couple more videos, but I'm going to have to rest my ankle a bit. It hurts standing. Let's make this clear. My ankle is not destroyed, but like I said earlier in this video, having an Achilles tendon tear, once I twist my ankle funky, it takes a while to recover, and it sucks. Peace.